So lately, I've been using an anamorphic lens probably 90% of the time whenever I shoot. And the big problem is the image that I get on the monitor is so stretched out. There is an anamorphic de-squeeze function on the FX3, but the problem is that the Sirui 35mm anamorphic lens is a 1.6 times squeeze. The FX3 only supports 1.33 and 2.0 de-squeeze function. If I turn on the de-squeeze function on the FX3, it will not give me the correct de-squeeze image. And also the screen is not big enough to see if you're nailing the focus. That's why I have to get an external monitor like this. So this is the ANDYCINE X5 external monitor. And this is a budget monitor which you can get for around $190. So my primary goal is to get my de-squeezed image and monitor it on a bigger screen, and also help me nail my focus easier because of the bigger screen. What I also like about this monitor is that it is made out of an aluminum and it's not plastic. For the price, you won't expect this kind of quality. It doesn't really feel cheap at all compared to other external monitor that is made out of plastic usually at that price point. And also, I just want to mention that the color is somewhat similar to the color of the FX3 and the small rig cage. And I think this monitor goes really well with the setup that I have here. And also, this monitor comes with everything that you need: a cold shoe mount, HDMI cable. This also comes with a battery, which is a Sony NPF battery that you can charge via USB-C right here. So you don't have to buy another charger for the NPF battery. And there is no sunshade included in the package because this monitor is rated at 1200 nits. So even if you shoot outdoors and it's broad daylight, you can see the image clearly because it has a high brightness settings, and you can change it on the fly by just tapping and swiping the left side of the screen. You can increase or decrease the brightness. This has 5.5-inch screen and you can input 4K resolution, but the screen is 1080p. And it is also touchscreen, so if you want to change the settings, you don't have to press multiple buttons and just navigate the screen via the touchscreen function. You can mount this in 3 different points. The bottom, right side, and the top part has 1/4-inch thread. 3 customizable buttons at the top part of the monitor that you can assign different function. So you can power this monitor in 3 different ways. First one is the battery, and the other 2 is by 12 volts DC and also a USB Type-C PD. The amount of image management or assist functions of this monitor is insane. Like, it has waveform, vector, histogram, focus peaking, zebras, false color, and many more. And if you're planning to crop your image in post, for example, you're shooting in 16:9 and then in post you want it to be in 2.35:1 aspect ratio, this monitor has those safe markers, especially when you're using an anamorphic lens like this that has a big squeeze factor. And as you can see, the red marker is the 2.35 aspect ratio, and all the image outside of it will be discarded or will not be used. So basically in post, I will zoom in a little bit more and lose that real estate on the side. So having those markers is really handy when shooting anamorphic. And also, if your camera doesn't support custom LUTs, like my Sony a7 IV here, it doesn't support loading custom LUTs in it. This monitor allows you to load your own LUT via the USB-C port at the bottom. So let's talk about what I don't like about this monitor. First one is the fan noise. Right now I set it to level 2, and then if I set it to the highest settings, number 5, the mic probably can pick it up. But if I use this camera with a shotgun microphone, I always set the fan to number 2, so it will not produce that kind of noise. But the problem is the number 2 con. For me, when you set the fan in low mode or the level 1 or level 2 to avoid that noise, and because this monitor is made out of aluminum, you can feel it gets warm to touch, especially if you're using it for a long periods of time. So you have to choose if you want to sacrifice or edit the noise in post, or just use a low settings of the fan, and the problem is that the monitor gets warm. And my last con for this monitor is that the function button at the top part is just a minor problem, and I think this can be fixed via a firmware update or a software upgrade, and that is you can't set the LUT toggle for the function button, because when you're shooting you can see the image correctly. It's not flat and gray like the S-Log, but once you review the footage, it doesn't have a LUT. What I really hope for is that I can just press one of the buttons and set that to a LUT toggle so I can turn on and off the LUT function of the monitor. Other than that, this monitor performs really well for the price range. It's really been an amazing experience using this monitor with an anamorphic lens. And I like also the way it looks with my FX3. And yeah, if you want to check this ANDYCINE X5 external monitor, I have the links in the description. Thank you for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you again next time. Bye.